Oh, that's interesting.
I have done so far. I have done well so far. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
different people.
That's interesting.
Do you know what kind of practice, core practice, people engage in here?
Like when you mean core practices, what?
Such as maybe what kind of activity, people engage in, which give them kind of sense worth.
Well, certainly the younger people. There's the sports issues for them here. There's a good sports group for them. They've got their hockey and they've got their stuff like that. The older people, the middle-aged people, I don't. I'm really unaware of what the middle-aged people would do here, because for us, most of our socialization or most of our activity would have been in Edmonton when we were younger.
Yeah.
Like we would go to Edmonton for that.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't know what the middle-aged people would be involved in here.
Because practice, core practice is so important.
Yeah.
What we do, what kind of activity we do, so that. Do you think what kind of activity do you think make it better? Shape it our identity more positive way. Because city, is not growing, but through the activity, people interested in coming to here, join and then know the people, and then they think, oh, this is what we do, because for example, Calgary there was Stampede, and then Honoka, there is Honoka there, but
They've got the Stampede
Stampede
too,
as
right?
well. But we have some kind of. Do you think what kind of activity do you think very make a positive influence in here? Do you any activity you're aware of?
Well, I mean, there's the racetrack. But that's for a select group of people. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And even when you look at that, like Reynolds Alberta Museum is
We have a beautiful museum here.
beautiful museum, but again, it's sort of a one-time affair, or you'll go and visit. It's nothing that's going to bring people together and keep them together on an ongoing basis.
Yeah, so see people living with us, the real people living in Rizzola in any activity. I hope that we can see kind of activity that, practice that we, work together, enjoy together,
Yeah.
as a sense of the, you are with us, resident, Interesting. And some of the question actually I got other
Okay.
people, so, in Camrose, they have university,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, Leduc, I'm knowing in this city too. What kind of institution do you think we have in here?
For higher learning, or we've got Norquest College. That's and that's come recently. Well, recently, in the last 20 years, it's come. That's recent.
In here, almost 8 or 10 years, very new.
Again, I think that that's a plus for us. We've got some targeted programs coming out of there, but again, it's small segment groups, and I mean even you and I were aware, like even with Jordan. Norquest is there, but the upgrading, they still have to go to the city for it. So it's not...
Doesn't make sense for us.
No.
There is a place we
Yeah.
can go, but they don't offer.
No, the number of programs that they offer is selective and limited. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Agents waiting for you at the church. I'm still at church.
What is what is your definition of a good life?
I'm living it now.
What about the people, with the city of Wetaskiwin? The reason I'm saying is, when I interview a few other people say that in here, in this town, in people, they really care about position. So I asked him, what does it mean by that? And he said that people, look at the truck.
Mm.
And then, so I was going to ask you, because I just talked to him, and then so limited time I didn't go further and deeper, and then he said that in here so much toy in their house, even though their house is small, and truck, and then they care about position, compared to the where he used to live. So
Okay.
and
See, I would have said that's a phenomenon of Alberta. I mean, it's not just a phenomenon of here. I mean, all of the young people
mm-hmm.
like to have their trucks and their toys, and because most of them, I shouldn't say most, a goodly number of them make good money in the oil patch, and
Not
that's
anymore, though.
well, but that's still the mentality that they came with, and we saw that in Fort McMurray when trouble hit and they started laying off at the oil patches. The men still had all their toys that they were still paying for, and that became a problem for them.
Yeah.
But
Do you think what can we do? What kind of city we can promote it? Because what kind of definition of good life we have. Actually, we can influence young people. So what do you think a city can offer to those people who has a kind of different, maybe I don't think poor definition of the good life, but they have a different definition of a good life because they're young,
Mm-hmm.
But how can I maybe promote? So if you're a mayor, think about it. If you're a mayor, how am I gonna promote it?
I think for us, what promoted the city for us was it was big enough that we could be anonymous when that was important to us. It's not so much now. It had everything that we were looking for in a community. But we came in with a mentality that we weren't going to be staying long, so we weren't ready to put down roots.
Mm.
But for many, if I'm getting your question right, what can the... I think we're at the point now where we have to look beyond the city of Wetaskiwin and say, the community is the whole city, and try and develop communities within Wetaskiwin. There are enough people here that could identify in a particular neighborhood or a particular community and do more to make people feel a part of a neighborhood as opposed to just part of a big city that they can get lost in. That's something that they could do. Yeah,
Very
like
good.
that.
Very good.
Small is good.
It changed me quite a bit since I live in here. Actually,
Yeah.
I haven't thought about living how rural area. I never thought about that. I was so fed on living in Melbourne, and then I don't want to live there. This is not my ministry. I can't do, but God put me here. And now very positive way.
Well, and that's what we found, and
Very
you're
positive.
probably a good example of that too. We came from a town of 2,000. This was heaven. I mean, there was enough people, there was enough services.
Oh, yeah.
A mall.
Which?
A mall.
There was a mall. And then we got McDonald's,
Walmart.
and Walmart, and Tim Hortons. So it's a good life here.
Oh yeah. But people who living in here, especially young people, doesn't have that kind of definition
Yeah.
in their mind. But I think, city and even myself, and then can offer that to the people,
Mhm.
especially young people.
But I think we have to also give people the time and the opportunity to experience the big city.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we've all had that,
and come back.
and then we can come back.
It's true.
You know,
It's true.
and I think that part of the problem is living through that transition to give people the opportunity to experience greener pastures. But
I like your mentality.
Well,
Yes, amazing.
you know-
Do it and find out, and then come back if you like it.
I needed time to live my dream that I was going to take the subway to work every day. Now that's the last thing I'd want. But having said that, now as a senior, one of the things that makes me worried about Wetaskiwin versus some of the other places, as I get older, there's no public transport here.
No.
And what we do have is we've got that we've got the handy van or whatever, but you're at the mercy of their schedule. Even Red Deer has public transit that would give
Yeah.
people more freedom than what we have.
What about
here.
Leduc? They probably do have.
Leduc has, and this is sort of funny. My understanding, they've got not transit within Leduc. Their transit is Leduc Edmonton,
Oh.
but it picks up in a few spots, and then they take them right to Edmonton. So perfect. I don't care where I have to go. All I want to be able to do is do my shopping and not have to worry that I need to keep my driver's license till I'm 90.
Yeah.
So and not be at the whim of disabled transit is the only service here, and they don't work on weekends. They have their priority is taking their regular contracted customers first, and anybody else is left to fend for themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to add it on more?
are you kidding? You've let me talk enough. So now my question to you is, what are you going to do with that stuff to make sense of it?
I don't know how to figure it out. For some reason, I don't have only